Hi, this is Bill again. So now we are on the third tab. So we are now doing an exercise. We're going to fork a repository and import the application data, right? So basically what it does, a repository for those who are new. So this is a place where you store, like where you store data or information. And the information at the moment is the application that we are going to work on, right? So otherwise, it will be difficult to create dashboard and reports, right? If there's no foundation, right? So this will be our foundation, right? So as you can see, we're only on the third step. This is the first step, right? And and as a prerequisite, you will need to have a GitHub account, right? So as we scroll down, I'm going to move forward and guide you faster, right? So you need to come into GitHub, right, and create your own. You need to create an account and do a sign in, right? So after you have successfully signed in, right, and created an account, you need to click this link here, right? So it's quite straightforward. So on my end, I managed to basically already create my accounts, right? So as you go back, right? So there's a quite few steps here that you need to follow, right? So it says from the number 4 is fork, right? So meaning of fork is pretty much the same. It's like a fork, isn't it? You're getting a copy, right? You can see that fork icon. You're getting a copy from one place to another, right? So the technology is making your life easier. So in layman's terms, you're creating a copy from one repository to others to the from the other because you cannot override any data or information from the original, right? So eventually you will see in the top left, we are in ServiceNow, but as you click the fork, right, it will take you, right? You can see my name there. It has this is I'm the owner, right? And this is the repository name, right? So for me, you can change it, but I will keep it as it is. For me, it's convenient, right? So I would say this is a dashboard and report exercise. So that's how I'm going to name it. But this is just a description. Um, Depending on what suits you, it's a naming convention that will remind you what it is, right? And as you go back, right? So it says untick button, right? So basically, depending on the purpose, what once we go back, right? Eventually, I'm not going to contribute at all in the branch, right? So meaning there's a different lesson. There's a full lesson about Git where you could basically download and contribute depending on the rights that you have, right? So now let's create a fork. So while creating a fork, it will now create a copy. As you can see on the top left, we are now redirected to my own GitHub account, right? So now we have a copy of this repository, right? So now let's just go back, and the next step is basically let's have a look. So select your personal GitHub account. So we have done that. We have done the fork already. So we have basically copied to our repository. So I'll be moving forward since we managed to completely do this steps already. Okay, so let's just double check, make sure HTTP is selected, right? So this is basically now having a copying the URL, because the next step is basically bringing this data or codes, right, to ServiceNow in your instance. So basically, the next step is you should have a personal developer instance or a PDI created, right? So I have a separate lesson on how to build a PDI. So you will find it right on the top link, and I'll also add it in the comment section for your guidance, right? And this is one of the confusing aspects, right? So it's the credentials, right? So on the credentials here, I will guide you how to get the credentials, right? So let us go to this tab, and to get the credentials, basically, you need to go to the settings, right? And after going to that icon, you click settings, and you go to the left, right, and move to developer settings in the lower left. And after moving, you need to navigate to tokens classic, and you need to create and generate a new token. So basically, this action is allowing your instance and the studio to have access to your repository. So you have to understand that this this feature that we're doing is a third-party application, right? So this third-party application we're integrating to ServiceNow. So let us have a note here. So token, let's say for um, dashboard and reports, right? So let's just make it descriptive. Okay, so I think this is all I need right now. So this for rights, access, and as you move forward, right? So if it's needed, then you just add it. But I think on this lesson, this is all we need to basically get going our activities. But as we go, let's double check and go back, right? So he's not saying anything about what credentials. So I think this is where a lot of student get stuck. But it's pretty much straightforward, right? And just let's just generate the token. Then now upon generating the token, you need to copy, right, and put it in a safe place, right? So let's do that. I have my notepad here. Make sure that token is copied, right? So now, your next step is go to your PDI, right? So my PDI, right? So I need to go to my PDI. So it's connections and credentials, right? I think I misspelled it. Um, let's have a look. I think this is the one. Let's just double check again. So we have connections and credentials. So it's easy to just copy it to be safe, right? So it has an S, that's why. Connections and credentials. I think it's this one. I keep on getting lost. Basic. Okay, it is credential, right? So let's go back. Connection and credential. So it's this one here, credentials, right? So from there, we need to create a new one, right? So I think it's basic authentication credentials. It's this one here. So from there, we need to create a name, right? So let's say dashboard and reports, right? Because that's the purpose of this repository. So the username here is your username, right? This person here, right? So once you have that, you need to copy it. Okay, copy it and paste it. Right, so paste it in the username. And the password is the token that we have generated earlier. Right, so once you copy that, you paste it, right? So what I'll do is right click and save. And after saving, right, so now we have something active. And now let us go back to the step-by-step guide. So now once we have that, so it's asking us to create an application in Studio, right? So let's do that. So let's go to Studio, right? So let's go to Studio, and upon opening the Studio, so the Studio is an IDE where you can create applications, right? So that's its purpose. So it says that we import from source control. So it's this bots in here. So I just missed that. So let me do that again. So it's this one here, import from source control. So it needs the URL of the repository. So let's go back to GitHub and make sure we are on the repositories. So I've just navigated to the repository and now I'm navigated back and we have to be on the correct, okay, so we click on code and make sure we are in HTTPS and copy. Upon copying, right, so let us go back and the guide says, right, is to paste it, right? To paste it in the URL, right? So let's do that. So let's do that here, paste it. So what's the credential? So I think it's dashboard and reports, right? That's how I named it. And the branch name could basically be, let's say I like it to be dashboards and reports as well. Dash reports. So this is a variable that you could also dictate depending on your liking, right? So now I think we can import. Let's have a look. So the branch is main. So you could put main if you want to, depending. So let's just follow the steps. Let's do that main, okay? And I think that's pretty much it, right? And we could now import and let's see if it's successful, right? So I think it's just making sure doing the connection, the back and forth of security logins are happening at this stage. And I think we're almost there. There you go. So let's see what's the next step. So it says select application. So let's do that. Select the application, right? So as we go back, so it says I think we're almost done on this exercise. After that successful um, fork and integration to ServiceNow, right? The application of Did IT should be available. So as you can see here, all we need to do is now click the application that we have integrated from the repository, and we will now be able to open this application. So as you can see here, let's go back to the steps. And there's a note here. So you will not see any applications in File Studio until you successfully create a branch from a tag in the next exercise. So basically, it will start to have some picture once we move forward in the next exercise. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much.